that's taking the entire country by surprise, and it's getting a lot of people really upset and outraged. Recent crime wave: is the police in control? It's a question that many have been asking in the last few weeks, and today really got to a head when we heard about the 3 missing girls in the Western region, which also is adding to this whole concern that people are having about their safety across the country. Let's look at the crime statistics as we have it from the Ghana Police Service official data, comparing 2 years, 2017, 2016. And if you look at the general crime situation, assault, etc., stealing, we're getting some significant numbers. But it is when you focus on major offenses that you begin to appreciate the problem at hand and how this has increased from 2016 to 2017. And we will look at 2018 shortly and see that it's even getting worse. So from 2016, 2017, 2018, these major offenses, murder. Let's look at murder. 2017, the whole year, the police recorded 609 cases of murder. Compare that to the year before, 2016, they had 549 cases of murder. That tells you that there's been an increase year on year, 2016, 2017, in murder. Robbery, same story. 1,772 cases of robbery in 2017 alone. Lower figure in 2016, 1,397. Rape, another very serious offense. Again, you see the trend emerging of higher numbers in 2017, 514 in 2017 as compared to 497 the year before. Look at defilement. We'll be talking a lot about this also today. 1,696, a huge leap from what it used to be in 2016, where we were at 1,341 cases of defilement. Let's look at possession and use of distribution of narcotic drugs. You see that's the only place where you see that there's been a reduction year on year compared from 2016 to 2017. 2017 we had 644 cases, and 2016 there was a slightly higher of 681 cases. Let's look at 2018, and if you look at the picture here, robbery, carjacking, defilement, we're getting a very serious trend also emerging there as well. And if you look at these figures, and this is just the first quarter of 2018, that is the official figures available for the police. We'll be delving into the latest figure because some civil society groups have been putting together their own figures of the latter part of 2018, and they are also recording very high numbers. Look at this. Look at the figures here, first quarter, in terms of the various crime figures that we know. I want to quickly show you what you see when you look at how this pans out in the official police figures. Now, this tells a story. You're looking at the police official figures, and this is 2018. It gives you a better picture of what I'm talking about. Now, look at the police figures, and you're looking at January, February, March, April, May, first quarter of 2018, and you will see something emerging here. If you look at January alone, 121 cases of major offenses that emerged, a total of 484 cases. And the police make a point. If they compare this to previous years, they are seeing a significant leap in terms of the crime figures. In fact, their comment on this is something you need to pay attention to. They tell us that if you look at the first quarter figures of 2018 alone, it's one of the highest they've seen in recent years, and that is how they pictured themselves as far as the figures are concerned. I want to quickly show you, and again, you see all these figures, sort of fluctuating here and there. But the first quarter figures of 2018 tells a pretty shocking picture of the general situation that we're seeing across the country on some of these key robbery cases. Today, we've seen the case in the Western region of the kidnapping, which is also an issue that I'll be delving into. There were 54 cases of kidnapping across the country in 2017. That's the last time that we have the complete figures from the police, and we'll be discussing that as well here on PM Express. If you look at the regional distribution, you see the crime rates. Ashanti region, when it comes to highway robbery, Ashanti region is showing quite high figures. We've had that recorded, and this is the first quarter alone of 2018. Now, if you look at the comparison distribution over the period, 2015, 2018, and this is where I want you to pay attention. Look at week by week, right? This is week by week, and this tells you a story. 2015, week 1 of 2015, 15 cases, and this is robbery, and this is one of those very important major offenses, robbery. First week, 15 cases, 2015. And look at the trend, and this tells the trend. And when you look at the bigger numbers of the yearly, you see the same thing emerging. 2015, we have 15 cases of robbery, week 1. 2016, 20, 5 more cases. 2017, 21 cases. That's a leap, 1 more. Now look at 2018, week 1. 26 cases, far more than all the 3 years before it. Now look at week 2, similar story. Look at here, week 2, 34 cases just in week 2 of 2018 compared to what we had in 2015 of 19 cases. This is the story of what we are talking about. And if you do the analysis throughout the weeks as the police have isolated, you will find, look at week 4, 30 cases robbery alone. If you go back to 2015, it was 21. Even 2016 was 12. 2017 was 9. 2018, first quarter, week 4, 30. From 2017, just 2018 alone, look at the difference of 21 cases. And that is what we'll be analyzing today as far as the police figures are concerned and what is happening tonight. And we'll start from the Western region, where we've been hearing a lot about the kidnappings, part of all those security stories we've been hearing tonight. This is the reality as far as the police figures are concerned. But behind the statistics are real lives. And that's where we'll be going when we come up from the break. Stay with us here on PM Express.
Maybe I'm maybe a Nigerian New York has an for me, my Miss Ragana, Miss Sano.
With the help of my pastor and a few friends around, we managed to raise some money. We sent him 1,200 cedis. Even with that money, we didn't see or hear from my daughter. We've never heard from her till date. We traced his line and got him arrested, but we later heard he had escaped from jail.
So we saw so we would not say, I mean, son of a man, I did. This one man to said, but women doing the man.
We plead with everyone to help us trace my daughter. It's been very difficult for my family. I plead with government and everyone to help me locate my daughter.
That is a mother there in despair, really. The children have gone missing since December, we are told. The first case of the kidnapping was reported in August. A police commander there confirmed that tonight. It's been 5 months in the first of the girls went missing. We still are no closer to finding them. Tonight, there are many families in grieving in the Western region tonight because they can't find their missing children. It's part of the insecurity situation that we've been talking about, and the statistics from the police show that it's been getting worse over the years. From 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, the first quarter, the statistics show incontrovertibly that we are degenerating in terms of the security situation. On the screens, one of the things we're doing tonight is assisting the public, the police really, to help identify these girls. It's only tonight that the police say they are releasing these girls. The one you see on the screen is Priscilla Blessing Bentum, 21 years. Last seen 17th August 2018. Place of kidnap is Kansawordo in Takrade. That's a picture there. Please let that picture sink in your head. Let it burn into your memory. If you find the lady anywhere, please call 191. If you have any information on your whereabouts, call 191 now and help the police. Help with any information you can about the lady on your screens who has been missing since 17th of August. There are 2 more ladies that we are trying tonight. If you're watching tonight, wherever in Ghana, out of the country, in the SAP region. You see Priscilla Mantiabi Karanche. Please help. 18 years old. Last seen 21st December 2018. Place of kidnap is in Crawford, Takrade. And again, please make that call to 191. If you're out of this country and watching us on any of our many channels abroad and you see any of the pictures there, you can call your local police as well and report it, because the police tell us tonight that they're not only looking within the shores of the country, they're looking outside in the sub-region as well, because the suspect in custody is a Nigerian and they believe that is a link to this. Also, the third lady in question, young Ruth Love Kwesing, 18 years, last seen 4th December 2018. Place of kidnap is Butumajebu Junction. Okay, in fact, if you are in the Takrade, they call it the BU Junction, Takrade. And you see her there, you see the hair, what she's wearing. Please help the police if you can. We are circulating these pictures tonight across all our platforms, online, on television, but also on our Facebook, WhatsApp pages, etc. So you can spread the word and let's help the police. Crowdsourcing is the best way of finding missing persons, and that's what we want to do tonight. The police, yes, may have failed to find the lady, the people in question. However, we can assist if the public is the best allies for the police. And so we'll keep rolling those pictures for you as we have our discussion. I want to start with you, Justin Bio. Justin Bio, by the way, is with a very important civil society group. They've been working on this, compiling their own statistics. He used to work with WANEP, but now he's with the Institute for Peace and Governance. Mr. Bio, I'm grateful that you join us. He's a security and conflict resolution analyst, and he joins us in the studio. Also with us is Collins Owusu Mankwa, he's a vice chair of the Defense and Interior Committee. Collins, I'm grateful that you join us.
It's a pleasure.
Let me get your reaction to the story of the kidnapped girls. We were here when Nigeria had a similar situation, and it was such a global outcry. Here, these girls have been missing starting in August. 5 months it's been, and there's nothing.
Thank you very much, Evans. I do believe that this issue shouldn't have been left to go this far. Per the data that we've been gathering, we've realized that violence against children has been on the increase for some time now in the country. And one of the data that we've been getting regarding violence against children is around kidnapping. So when this issue was reported in the media, we expected the police to have acted quickly. My point is that we shouldn't have waited this long. The public should have been able to volunteer some information alongside helping the police to get all the necessary kind of support in trying to kidnap them.
But the police made it impossible for the public to help them. I don't know if you listened to the Western Regional Police Commander on my show on radio this evening. He admits that since this first was reported to him in August, they haven't even circulated the pictures. And he says there was police procedure that stopped him from doing it. And then I says, okay, listen, whatever has happened has happened. We're in the 5th month. We need to get the public to help you. So will you release the pictures? He says, yes, we'll do it tonight. We have them. Can you imagine what would have happened if this was done the very day we were convinced that these girls are missing? Because that's the only way around the world where you find people missing.
That's a very unfortunate circumstance, because I would have expected the police to collaborate with the public in dealing with this situation. The police on their own can never be able to deal with violence in society. So as much as possible, they should be able to collaborate with the public. They should be able to call on the public to provide them all the necessary leads and information that will help them to be able to deal with crime in society. If they want to act on their own, then they will always be found out to be wanting in what they are trying to do. And that is my challenge with the current situation that we find ourselves in.
Colleagues, what's your own reaction to this? And I know you're a father. True. Yeah, I mean, and if you're speaking purely from the perspective, this must be heartbreaking for the parents whose children have been missing close to 5 months. Some of them, 2 of them in December, 1 in August. And the government, the police, the national security, all these people that we pay haven't done their jobs.
Well, thank you very much. I'm of the considered view that when it comes to security, it's a shared responsibility, and I agree with what my brother just said, that it must not be left to only police alone as an institution. We, the citizens, also have a critical role to play, especially when it comes to intelligence gathering. We are supposed to furnish them with the needed information because, mind you, we are in the same community. We live with these criminals. Some of them are being harbored by some citizens, and it's only fair that if we want to combat crime, then it's a shared responsibility. It must call for a collective, effort on all of us as people. If you look at what has happened, for me, it's very worrying from where I sit. But what do we do? Once we live in society, of course, there will be deviance. But we must map a strategy of fishing out all these criminals within our society. So going forward, we need to collaborate with police as an institution to fight these menace. That is my initial reaction.
But you make a very important point about helping the police deal with the menace. However, it's a shared responsibility. You can only participate in the sharing of that responsibility in the case of a kidnapped person if you know who the person missing is. You need to, if I haven't seen the person before, I have no clue if the person passes me by whether he's been missing or not. If somebody is holding her hand, I can't tell. The most basic thing you expect any serious state that will do if a person is missing is share the pictures. Especially in a time like this where social media is so active. All you need to do is send a picture, hold a press conference and distribute it. Even that hasn't been done. As a member, as a vice chair of the Interior and Defense Committee, you must be concerned. Sure. You must be holding the police accountable. Absolutely. On behalf of the people that you represent, that this hasn't been done.
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, police, per the laws of this country, are being mandated to, as it were, prevent, detect, and investigate crime. And they have a procedure of doing that. You might be thinking that, of course, they should have, posted the pictures of these missing, little girls or young girls. But the fact of the matter is that once security in itself is an intangible, and in terms of gathering of intelligence, you need to be cautious.
What is the caution? Can you think about any reason why you don't want to share the pictures of the missing girls?
Well,
can there be any reasonable, sensible reason, security or otherwise, why you will not share pictures of missing girls?
Well, sometimes we work behind the scene. So it's also part of the strategies of cabinet.
Not to share the pictures of the missing. You see, that's what I'm talking about. It's just so basic.
How police operate is sometimes different from how we perceive them, and they have ways of combating crime.
Yeah, I'm just talking about. I'm not talking about the grand nature of policing. I'm just talking about the simple.
No, you are worried that why is it that they are not showing up the pictures?
Yes, that's what I'm asking. What can be so?
And they might also have reasons of doing that.
Yeah, they have the reason. In fact, let's listen to the police commander. Let's listen to the police commander speaking to us about this and why they failed to put out the picture so the public can help them.
What is actually happening is that this is the man who is supposed to open up to us to know where the victims are. We have tried all means to talk to him. He only, in the initial stage, he took us to Kaswa. We went and combed the whole of Kaswa. He could not be able to lead us to where the victims are. It's almost 17 days.
You've had him in custody for 17 days.
Yes.
And he keeps leading you to the wrong places.
Yeah, he's not ready even to talk. He will tell you he doesn't know where the victims are.
So that's the police commander. They're talking about they have somebody in custody, and this in Nigeria. They've had him in custody for a long time. He broke jail, and they rearrested him. And what he was saying there was a crux of the matter, that the man had given them false information all along. And each time he promises to take them to the place where the girls are being kept, they go and they find nothing. And that's all they have, in fact. So after 5 months, they are square one, nothing from this man. And that's where they are. And then the question comes about, okay, so what else can you do? And that's where my question becomes relevant. 5 months, you have somebody in custody. He's not getting you anywhere. He tells you the man is here, you go there, you break down doors, nothing. So he's frustrated. So the question is, what else do you do? What else do you do comes to, okay, can we enlist the public help? How do you enlist public help? I need to give them as much information so they can help me.
Sure.
The fundamental way to do that, especially when people are missing, give them the pictures. So if I see Araba walking with John in the market, and I saw Araba's picture on television, all I need to do, I can intervene myself, call the police. Then he says, oh, we haven't done that yet. We'll do that tonight. After 5 months. That's the question I'm asking you. I'll come to you shortly.
I think to some extent I agree with you, especially when the man is not trying to, as it were, being truthful. Well, I'd also to say that he must be tortured, because you see, it's also part of, dealing with criminals, for them to own up by telling the truth. So going forward, I think they need the assistance of the public, and for being, I agree with you that they should show the pictures of these missing case, so that we would be well informed to know the rare images of people that they've been held hostage by, some criminals. So I think I agree with you.
Justin.
Yes, for me, I'm of the candid opinion that the police should be proactive in enlisting the support of the public before and even after a crime. Sometimes when the public is even vigilant, they are able to forestall a crime. So in such a situation, if people were already aware, they would have probably been able to stop this kidnapping in one way or the other. But unfortunately, it has happened. Therefore, we should have expected, we're expecting the police to be proactive by calling on the public to kind of volunteer information. It does not necessarily need to be about publishing the pictures of the people, but you could have simply gone on radio or any of the television stations to ask for support from the public. And then based on the kind of information that you get from the public, you can then decide what next step to do. For me, I think even for 5 months is too long.
Yeah.
Because crime, you need to act swiftly.
Swiftly. Within the first 48 hours, if you miss out a window.
Criminals are always changing their tactics and plans. So by now, they are 5 months ahead of the police. How do we get them? So as far as I am concerned, this situation, the police should have even been able to inform us, keep the public updated about what they are doing without even divulging any kind of information if they want it to be secret. That one would have been confident that at least they are doing something. But when we look at the way they have kind of gone around this issue, some people are skeptical that they haven't done anything, especially where the person who was arrested was able to escape.
Escape.
So that's where people are.
Finally, Mr. Amankwa, because you are on the Defense and Interior Committee, I wonder whether your committee is taking interest in this matter, because it's becoming a national issue. We know what happens when children are kidnapped anywhere in the world. 3 of them. It becomes an international focus comes on.
Sure.
And which we expect will happen now that it's become such a big deal in the media and everybody's talking about it. There's a press conference tomorrow. Is your committee taking interest in at least probing the police to find out?
Of course, as a committee, we've always taken interest in such issues, and we are mandated by the standing orders and also the 1992 Constitution to, as it were, examine all issues relating to security, which should be of paramount to all of us. Yeah. And we are more concerned, of course. We do invite police to, as it were, furnish the committee especially when there are issues, how far they've gone with the issues. Kidnapping as a crime would definitely be featured, prominently when we summon police high command.
Let's talk about the general crime situation, and I want to start with you again because your colleagues in Parliament yesterday held a press conference.
Oh, their press conference.
Yes. They talked about the crime situation in the country. They stated that since you took power, the MPP took power, we've seen a worsening of the crime situation in Ghana. And we did a fact check, which is what ended up us looking at the police official figures. And it checks out 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. There's been a consistent rise in the crime, the worst being the first quarter of 2018. And if you look at the 2017 figures, the same. Major crimes have gone up, some of them very significantly. What is happening? I'm sure you get briefings on your committee.
Yeah, sure, we do. To be honest with you, research has shown that population growth results in increasing in crime rate. Yes. So going by the statistics, of course, you are expecting that number of Ghanaians in 2016 compared to that of 2017, definitely 2017 number would be higher than...
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Population growth, no, I'm coming, at the rate of 2.5%, if my memory serves me right. Yeah. Yes, so clearly...
Not necessarily. We've had figures year on year when there have been...
No, that is the general statement. That is I'm making a general statement that research has shown. No, it's true. No, it's true. That's the general statement.
You can state that, research shows that, yes.
Exactly. There's a proportional...
But you can't say that automatically because that...
No. I'm making a general statement. I'm making a general statement.
But that's a lead that we must have.
Of course, even if you want to deal with specifics, 2015, for instance, 552 murder cases were recorded in 2015 alone. Yeah. Yes, when you compare the figure with 2014, 2013, clearly you could see that there has been consistent increment in terms of numbers. So what I want to say is that crime is crime, and our society frowns on crime as an act. How do you fight it? That is where my concern is. But to play politics with, I'm sorry, that is not the way we should go. Crime has no color. And for me, what minority group in Parliament sought to do yesterday was to just create fear and panic, knowing very well that this is not the first time we are witnessing even murder cases in this country. And for them to have said that because this slain journalist, may he so rest in perfect peace,
Ahmed
Swale, that because it was reported on BBC, VOA, Al Jazeera, and other international platforms, therefore Ghana's international image is in tatters. Then you ask yourself, what kind of logic is this? Because I don't want to do politics of equalization, but we're in this country when the whole Omahene of their own chief scribe, that is the general secretary of NDC, was killed. He was murdered in cold blood. We're in this country under their watch. The whole Nkwanta DC was in office. So the point is, how do you combat these menace? That is where I want to draw
We'll come to the solution to the problem shortly, but I want Bayo to just chip in on what they themselves are seeing at your institute as far as this crime situation and how it corroborates or does not with the police figures.
Evans, it's true. For us, we look at security beyond crime because we see that crime is part of security, but there are other issues that are normally not captured. First, we have disaster, fire outbreaks, arson, floods, rainstorm, drought. We also have this farmer pastoralist issue that normally comes up once in a while, health-related violence. Recently, we had the tilapia, the death of tilapia in the Volta region or so.
Sure.
That is a threat to the health of people. Some of these things should be captured. I'm not sure the police were able to capture it. Even under murder, we realize that suicide is also on the increase. I don't know whether the figures here have been able to capture that. When it comes to violence against children, which we are talking about, one of the issues that we've been able to gather is that kidnap is high, and that's a crime already under the Criminal Code of Ghana. But also there's a high rate of defilement, very high rate of defilement.
This is generally crime against children.
Children, violence against children. And therefore we feel that there is the need for us to start looking at ways to combat such an issue. And my last comment would be on the murder of the journalist. If it had happened at any other time, it wouldn't have given such attention in the world. But then it has happened at the wrong time, in the wake of the death of a major journalist in a Saudi Arabian, what's it called?
Yeah.
Consulate. That is how the world is seeing it, because they are linking it up with what happened in Turkey.
And also, especially when Swale was also involved in the global uncovering of football corruption, not only in Ghana, but also on the continent.
Yes. So people are looking at the recent increase in the number of murders around journalists and trying to include this. Looking at the way the other news medias the world over, the world over, try to, send in their own reportage of the whole situation. So for me, even though it's unfortunate, it has happened at the wrong time. That is why actually it has gotten the kind of attention that it really deserves.
So we'll come back and take a short break. When we return, we'll look at the other factors leading to this increasing crime rate, with the statistics proving it, but also deal specifically with, as a country, are we tackling this properly? And are we devoting the right resources to get this addressed? Stay with us here on PM Express. We're still live on PM Express here on the JoyNews channel. My guest in the studio is Collins Owusu-Amankwa. He's the Vice Chair of the Defense and Interior Committee in Parliament. Also with me is Justin Bayo, the Security and Conflict Resolution Analyst, and he is with the institute that, of course, being analyzing issues with security for peace and governance. Let me start with you on the conversation. I think that the statistics established quite clearly, and from the statistics that you've been observing, which areas are most alarming?
I think the first one that is quite alarming is violence against children.
Okay.
That one is very important, and out of this, majority of the incidents involve defilement, and then there's also the issue of kidnapping, which we should watch critically. The next one we should look at is armed robbery.
Yeah,
it's on the increase in the country, and therefore we'll urge the police to start taking measures to deal with that. And of course, the third one is murder alongside suicide.
Okay.
It's been coming up. I believe that there's the need for us to continually gather data. The importance of data is that it makes us to zero down to the real issues and deal with them. Because I remember the last time there was this politically motivated violence, or what we call vigilantism. Everybody came up and said we were really under the threat of vigilantism and whatnot. But when you look at the statistics, it's nowhere near what we are talking about. Because with the figures there would be maybe 3 or 4 in a year or in a quarter. Whereas in one quarter you have about 30 cases of violence against children, and an equal number of cases around armed robbery, and then what's it called, murder and suicide. The most important thing is, especially for murder, I've realized, it's only when it involves a high-profile person that it becomes an issue. Most of the times there are other numerous cases of murders that are committed, and nothing seems to come out of it because it does not involve anybody of straw. In the case of the journalist, I believe this issue has come up really because he's somebody who is well known, and it involves some other people who are well known, and that's why it's becoming an issue. But there are other people who have been murdered, and we don't know what the outcome is.
Yes, yesterday we heard from the minority, and in fact we've heard from other experts suggest that we're also seeing another trend of contract-targeted killings. I think the GBA issued a statement last night, and they also raised a concern with that, what they saw to be that trend, where people are targeted, either assassinated or simply killed. Is that part of something that you also see as emerging from your crime analysis?
Yes, it's been coming up, but we've not been able to gather the necessary information around that. But there have been suggestions here and there. But some of them actually we cannot. For instance, the murder of the pastor on 31st of December, actually that one couldn't have been said to be a targeted murder. But regarding the murder of the Gapoha PRO, that one probably can fit into that. There are other cases, the Mancrawler of, I think, one of the... Pram.
Yeah.
That probably is also a targeted case. So there are instances of such issues emerging, and therefore there is a need for us to start looking into that, especially the police.
Yeah, how is the committee viewing it? I mean, if you listen to that and you get scared, I mean, for the very first time in a long while, I'm going home and you're trying to find alternative route, you're trying to look, that's pretty worrying.
You see, the point is, I see it to be isolated cases, and any attempt to describe that we are in the state of insecurity is neither here nor there, and that is what I mean. Minority or the largest opposition party in this country.
But not only them. Listen to the Ghana Bar Association. Listen to the bar. It says, the statement they issued yesterday says, the Ghana Bar Association has noted with great concern and unease the recent upsurge in murders in the country. The GBA finds the brazen nature of some of the murders and the blatant disregard for human life by the perpetrators very disquieting and frightening. The association hereby extends, and of course, condolences. And it talks about, they go on to talk about the Bar Association calls upon the Minister of Interior, the IGP, to put in place without delay measures that will guarantee the safety and security of Ghanaians. So the GB also agrees that there is an upsurge in these
I agree
matters in
there
the
is
country.
an upsurge, but any attempt to describe...
But you say it's isolated.
Of course, because people are also trying to exaggerate matters and also trying to paint a gloomy picture as if even Ghana is not safe. No,
Is Ghana safe?
Of course, Ghana is safe.
For you, maybe, but for many, it's not.
But we are here. Has anybody put gun on you that you can't enter this very studio? Well, people are going about their normal duties.
Well, some have experienced that.
See, that is the reason why I'm saying that. Of course, I'm not here to justify crime as an act, but it's part of us as human institution. Yes, whether we like it or not. But we must map strategy of curbing that a particular issues. You see, I'm of the view, yes, that going forward, we need to be more proactive, be it police or other security agencies, in terms of combating crime in this country. Because, and then again, research has shown that day in and day out, crime becomes more sophisticated. And therefore, we need also to be more sophisticated if you want to indeed fight against crime in this country. So the onus rests on us. Now, how do you tackle these issues? I want to point it out that anybody to misconstrue that there has been one or two incidents, and therefore, and that is where my fear is, because it's like if you don't manage the situation.
But there has to be one or two. The statistics show a clear increase in numbers.
Listen, and I'm surprised. Even talking about the minority press conference, clearly, the very platform they mentioned, when you visit their respective countries, worse things are happening, human rights abuse. But the point is, we are all against crime, which is a grave offense punishable by law.
Because that's the politics.
That is the impression.
Crime is crime. Forget about the minority. I've just quoted for you.
That impression must be dispelled.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is my position now.
Which impression?
To create that we are in the state of insecurity. That is not the reality, and I want to assure the people of this country that from where I sit, in terms of national security, everything is intact.
But the statistics that the police themselves put up doesn't support your theory.
Oh, my brother. So, is it because somebody has killed someone and therefore the whole country?
I'm not using one case. I'm using the police statistics, the police numbers.
No, what we are saying is we need to combat it.
Yeah.
But for anybody to justify or use it as a yardstick that these incidents have happened and therefore we are in the state of insecurity, that notion must be dispelled. And that is my position now.
Let me read to you what the police analysis, the conclusion they came to after the first quarter analysis in 2018. On the average, and I'm quoting, on the average, 2018 recorded the highest number of robbery as against the previous years over the same period of time.
Then again, we go back to research. And I know that going forward, of course, there will be a lot of crime commitments in this country. It depends on us how we tackle it.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I think we need to educate ourselves. I think we should be more security conscious, and from my own perspective.
So the first responsibility is ours as public?
Of course, but when it comes to security, my senior brother is here. We have what is termed as personal security. Of course, the national security is there. That is the reason why you have surrendered your right. I've surrendered mine. We have put something we call sovereignty, and that is state. So state security, as in national security, is there. But your personal security is also should be of paramount, because we need to be more conscious. We need to be seen as people who are so concerned about our security, as in welfare. Look, we live in a country where we don't ask questions. Somebody can just bang here and be engaging workers without being thoroughly investigated or query where the person is coming from. We don't ask questions. Some people go to, schools, campuses. We just look at them, no probing, no approach. We don't ask questions. We are not security conscious at all. So going forward, we need to educate ourselves. We must start be asking questions within our society. If somebody comes to you, and that person, you've not seen the person in the area
and the state's responsibility?
Of course, but I've already said that.
What is the state, as a chair of the Defense and Interior Committee, has the state done enough to fix the problem?
Well, it's a collective responsibility.
I get that.
The media should
forget about the media.
Lead the charge.
No. Forget about the media.
I should forget about
it. Nobody voted for us. People voted for the government, and the government's primary responsibility is to protect its citizens. I'm asking you a direct question: has the government done enough in discharging that responsibility?
Well, sometimes you should also look at the resources at our disposal, which is also key, because mind you, even when it comes to staffing of police as an institution. Clearly, if you look at the number, and per the internationally accepted standard, there should be one police governing 500 civilians. Yeah, so it means that there should be about 230 police officers for every 100,000 population. And currently, if you look at the numbers, we have a police officer to 120, I have forgotten, but I think it's one of the lowest, which we must be able to bridge the gap as a state. So, well, the current administration is doing its best by providing police with the needed logistics, but there's more room for improvement. And then again, we also have a civic responsibility to ensure that together we achieve greatness.
Yeah, I mean,
as a state.
I get that, but
and that is where the media, you also have a role to play.
But nobody, I repeat that.
No,
nobody
you've not been voted for.
Let me
DJ, don't you conduct elections?
No, but the public didn't. But justice has to stake that enough to protect us.
I think they are trying their best to protect us, but they need to do more. And when I say the state, I'm just not looking at the police per se.
Yeah.
We should talk about other
the entire security apparatus,
state
really.
institutions which have a role to play, including the media. So sometimes when we look at issues or the threats to security in the country, we normally urge various institutions to do their best to support. One of them is the judiciary, for instance. The number of rape cases and then the number of murder cases that come before them. We would probably urge them to deal decisively with such occurrences. We're saying that the National Media Commission should also try in their small way to censure or even try and deal with people who go on air and then spew out information without doing due diligence at all.
Like in Japan.
I have not said that, but
but I'm asking you, isn't that one of those that needs to be checked? When members of parliament go on use their networks to invite harm on individuals?
Yes, such things should also be dealt with.
Mr. Mankwa is smiling, but
yes.
You don't agree.
No, but I'm surprised that
you don't agree.
You are raising this
You
issue.
don't agree.
That
parliamentarian leaders of this country must be seen to be speaking responsibly on security matters. I mean, I don't see for the lives of me how anybody can say.
We must be measured when it comes to matters that bother on security.
I doubt if you say that. Oh, go when if you see Evans and beat him. I doubt if you will say that. You will never say. No matter what I do to you, won't go on.
Sometimes,
but
I'm not holding brief for my senior colleague.
But nobody has condemned.
No, the matter is under investigation, and I think it will be only fair.
I think Honorable's problem is with regard to the state of insecurity.
Exactly. That description is what I don't want to hear.
The fact is that there has been an increase in crime. So probably he's saying that an increase in crime in the country is not the same as
insecurity.
State of
your expert opinion, what is it?
Yes, my opinion is that yes, if we look at the incidents that occur, if we look at each one in an isolated fashion, then we would come to that conclusion. But
your expert opinion conclusion, what's your conclusion based on the figures?
My conclusion is that there's an increase in crime in the country.
Does it amount to insecurity?
It's a threat to national security, and then the government should do well to deal with it.
I'm grateful that you joined us. That's Justin Bayo, Security and Conflict Resolution Analyst, joining us with his perspective on. There's also is a chair of the defense, the vice chair of Defense and Interior Committee, Collins Osama. I'm grateful that you joined us, sir. And he's promised that his committee, once they'll be looking into some of these things, they have a responsibility over the police, etc. They can oversight. They can call the IGP in for questioning on our behalf, and we expect him to do that with his colleagues.
So we did it last year.
Okay. Want it again. This time it has to be public. Put it on television so we can all make sure that you're asking the right questions on our behalf. We'll be there. But thank you for joining us, and we'll be rolling the pictures of the girls again on television. If you find them, please listen. If you see something, say something. If you see something, say something. Call 191 if you see any of these girls anywhere here in Ghana, on the sub-region. Please make an effort and help these families who are suffering tonight. My name is Evans Mensah. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Okay, once again, this time it has